Your seated position. And welcome to your practice this morning. Just change the cross of your legs if you happen to be in Sukhasana. Come to that more awkward side perhaps, or maybe they're both exactly the same, but just a little change there. And feel your sit bones, feel that connection with the ground, with your feet. And from your sacrum and your coccyx, just a little bit of a wiggle from side to side, right down in the base there. And not necessarily taking it up into your back. It's not a big movement, not a big sway. It's controlled by the sides, lower sides of your body, around your hips. Just moving as if you could just move your sacrum from side to side. And softening through your knees and your ankles. And then from that nice, solid, steady, balanced base, we can build up. So let's move into the spine. Finding that little bit of space, that little bit of expansiveness all the way up through the whole of your spine. And then bringing attention to the front of the body after you've gone all the way up into the back of your neck as well. So the front of your body, that might make you lean back a little. It might give you more space. You ask for more space in the front of the body. So when you do move back, make sure that you're still keeping the length. That space in the front of your body might look like an expanding of the space between your sternum and your pelvis or the floor. So lifting the sternum slightly without compromising what's going on in the back. So it's a whole midsection lift and a slight tilt rather than a big opening up of the chest and leaning backwards. And then taking your attention to the very top of your armpit, right up the closest point under your arm to the top of your shoulder, if that makes sense. And we're lifting that space. And you'll feel that hopefully in your ribs with that lovely opening up, a little bit of expansiveness, and then softening through your arms and your elbows and your shoulders. And you might find that there's been some holding going on there. And soften through your shoulder blades as well. And lift your chin. Tiny bit, just a little lift. And if you feel that your chin is lifted too high, maybe it's bringing it slightly lower. And here we're going to move again. So we had that little movement in the hips, and now we're going to extend it through. So you're moving the hips, but you're also sliding your ribs. So as if you're sliding your bottom set of ribs from left to right. And letting the hips follow or do what they will. And here we're sort of playing into the spine around the mid-back and the belly. So just a little glide and slide, side to side. And all the while breathing in through your nostrils and out through your mouth. And you can make this as slow as you like. And now we're going to stir. So if you're taking your ribs out to the right, we're then going to take the sternum forward. Take your ribs over to the left. And then take your mid-back out behind you. Let's stir right and forward and left and back. One more time at your own pace. And here you might want to exaggerate the movement a little, feeling it into your hips and your lower back maybe. Just noticing where you feel it. Coming back to center, and then let's go to the other side. So we're going to take that rib cage right, rib cage back, Rotate left and forward. And your head is neutral. If you started to get some, keep going, keep going. If you started to get some tension creeping in anywhere, then maybe a gentle smile on your face. And stirring the giant pot here, looking for all those little areas which are perhaps slightly complaining. Let's go around one more time. And coming to the center. So just a lovely, luxurious movement. And coming back to center. So we're going to do something a bit more extreme now. And we're taking the right shoulder over to the right side. So your focus is your right shoulder. And if you like, you can push away with the left hand on your left knee. And we're just sending ourselves over as far as we possibly can. Looking now for that stretch around the top of the left hip. Just see if you can maintain that sensation of having both sit bones on the floor. Your left one here is going to start floating. You can gently guide it back, and then let's come over to the other side. Really slow these movements, but very deep. And again, once you get as far as you're going with that left shoulder perhaps lifted and leaning out to the side. If you're trying to just poke something with your left shoulder. And then maybe pushing into the right knee. Maybe not, maybe just holding on for balance. And then coming back to center. Now, how did you go with managing to keep breathing through that? Let's go over to the right once more. And the left, speeding up the movements a little bit. Right and left with the shoulders. And coming back to center. We've made those gorgeous movements in the spine, side to side, having that flexible spine, having movement in the spine, and then also just encouraging that flow up and down. So now we're going to do a little bit of a twist. So right hand to left knee, left hand down on the floor behind you, lifting your crown of the head, the crown of the head, or the crown of your head up towards the ceiling, and twisting around, opening that left shoulder around out behind you. Oh, lovely twist. Now really feel that twist moving through your whole spine. And if you need to, really soften, come back. And then release completely. Let's go to the other side. So exactly the same on the other side. Use the floor, use your left or your right knee and your left hand. Give yourself a little twist and turn. Especially in the mid-back here. And coming back to center, take a big inhale. So inhaling through the nostrils together. Exhaling, curling around, chin to chest, forehead down to the floor. Rounding up to inhale, looking up to the ceiling at the end of that inhale. Exhale, rounding the back. Taking the crown of your head down towards the ground. Inhale, coming all the way up. Use your arms here to support you. And push into the movement. Go at your own pace. So exhaling to completely compress and curl down. Inhaling to come all the way up. Feel your chest at its fullest and most expansive on the full in-breath. And then squeezing everything out on the out-breath, going at your pace. And come to a standstill or a sit still, perhaps a little bit more appropriate, extending your legs out in front, and then let's just lift the heels off the floor, bring your toes back towards your face. Feel that lovely stretch in your calves, contracting the knees, thighs, maybe even a little bit into the hips. Hands to the floor, fingers are pointing forward. Heels of the hands pressing down nicely into the ground so you get that tension in your arms. And extending both legs forward with both legs engaged, toes all pulling back towards you. We're going to lift the left leg. So we're lifting the left leg off. Hold. Engage your core, so we're pulling the lower belly in and we're making sure we've got space. Lifting the shoulders. And release, bring that leg back down and relax your heel to the ground. Let's engage the right leg and we're lifting the right leg off. And much easier is to have the opposite leg, the unlifted leg, pushing down into the floor. Less easy is if you have both heels off the ground, one leg is slightly lifted. Opening through your shoulders. They're wide and they're high, but they're not lifting up towards your ears. And relax that leg down, bringing your soles together, soles of the feet together, and take a little time to match them up as much as they will match up. Relax through your hips and your thighs. Maybe they'll rock from side to side, like a weeble. Massaging through and then coming back to center when you've done the same number on each side. And then drawing your heels a little closer in, lifting the crown of your head up towards the ceiling and gently pushing down. Might just be a tiny amount of pressure. It might just be that lovely contact with your hands and your knees. But give your elbows a good stretch here and a stretch into your upper arms and your forearms. Slight engagement of your belly towards your spine and lift your pelvic floor. Our practice today is going to be deep and slow, as we have already been practicing together. We're going to keep left leg in and take your right leg out. Give yourself space so that you are supported by your mat, by that little bit of cushioning that you've got, hopefully. So here we're looking for that contact with the floor, with the back of the extended right leg. We're also looking to keep torso nice and level. So we're going to do a little bit of breath work here. If this feels tight and uncomfortable, just come back to Sukhasana or any other seated position that works for you. And if you are adapting at any point, adapt your posture or adapt to choose another asana like Balasana or Sukhasana or Shavasana anytime during any practice. And practice feeling a sense of accomplishment, that you are able to understand what your body is telling you and interpret what is necessary and what is needed, rather than what can be the default, which is frustration at an inability or a perceived lack of whatever it is, stretch, strength. So up tall, as I said, we're going to come into a little bit of breath work. So take your hands to heart center into Namaste Mudra. So legs going to be working hard here. If they get tired, change your position. So pushing your hands together, so you get that engaged chest and you can lift your sternum a little higher perhaps. Closing your eyes. By inhaling through the nostrils. Exhaling through the mouth. And inhaling through the nostrils. You may need to lift your hands a little because you want to keep your head and neck nice and lifted. And with the out breath, just blow that breath through pursed lips to touch your fingertips. So you feel the air just flowing over your fingertips. So your inhales are through your nostrils and your exhales are through your mouth. Inhale and exhale at your own pace. Just practice that feeling of getting as much flow of air passing around the sides of your fingertips as you can generate in a steady breath. So we're not just puffing out, it's a longer breath, but it's forceful. So use the whole of your torso, use your belly, use your chest to expel that air firmly and steadily. And now, if you like, we can practice together. So exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Maintaining the inhale, exhale. Change the position of your legs, bringing right leg in and left leg out. Use your arms if you need to, otherwise stay in this position, maintaining the inhale, exhale. If you feel that you are curling and curving in your spine, remedy that by adjusting to suit where you need to be. I want to try and feel as much coolness on the tops of your fingers as you can, and the sensation of the air flowing around the sides of your fingers after it hits the front of your pointer fingers. And make this your last one. And release. Well done. Just something a little bit different. In this position, taking your right ear to your right shoulder, extending out. Bringing your head back to center, and we're going to slide down the left leg, taking the arm up or not, as the case may be. Feel into what works for you. There's no right answer here. A little bit of squeezing in the left. See if you can squeeze there. Open up in the right. Reaching forward, looking for your toes or your ankle or your shin, wherever you land. And then this arm either extended up or resting on your right thigh, in which case you might be able to use it to gently fold you over a little further. But be careful here, you don't want to push too much. So you're either using the weight of your arm or the pressure of your arm. But either way, you're going to get that lovely opening up in the side of the body. It'll either be all the way, it'll either be around the hip, or it'll be up under the arm. Doesn't matter. You're looking for some stretch, and we'll have found some stretch. And breathe. If you like here, inhale through your nostril and exhale in that same breath pattern that we were just using. Quite a forceful exhale through pursed lips. Very intentional with that out breath. And then let's come all the way up, taking the crown of your head back, up, nice and slow, and then let's swap around. Bringing the left leg in again, right leg out. And again, up tall, have a wiggle to find your center. Then we're going to take left ear to left shoulder. Nice big stretch here on the right side. Enjoy that stretch for a moment. And then coming back to center, and we're going to start off. Lean to the right. So we're just leaning over to the right. Slide that right hand down, see where you get to. So as you see where you get to with the right hand along the right leg, you're really also focusing on what's going on in the left side. That's what we're focusing on here. And squeezing a little in the right. What that does is it helps you come upright a little more. Sometimes as we slide over, we don't realize that this left shoulder is coming down towards the ground because it feels so much easier. So we want to get the maximum benefit out of this. And we lift that shoulder up and back. And then of course, what do you feel like doing with that left arm? The same on this side as the other side, perhaps? Looking for that Lovely, releasing around that left hip all the way into the left side of the body. Lovely. Remember to breathe. And then let's come up by lifting up, slowly easing off, letting everything just sort of slide back into place. And then bringing that right leg back in, left leg comes out one more time. And when we were sitting on the other side earlier, we did a little bit of breath work. So here, close your eyes and focus on bringing that breath all the way down into the lowest part of your belly that you can feel some movement, and into the sides and into your back. And as you exhale, it's a very slow exhale. Maybe imagining sending a little feather away from you, sliding across the top of a long, shiny table. Inhaling down, relaxing the belly fully, exhaling slow and steady. Well done. And maybe here, setting some sankalpa for yourself. What is it that you need more of in your life? What is it that you can give yourself permission to access more of in your own life? And let's come back to a squat. So again, yes, we are getting off the floor. I know, it's unbelievable, isn't it? Come back up, bring yourself into a squat. But don't worry, we're not going to stray very far from the floor today. It's going to be a lovely contact with the floor kind of practice. So come into whatever kind of squat works for you, but within that, find a little movement. So naturally flow into what feels good, whether you're up on toes or you're looking for some flat feet, or whether you've decided that knees together and thighs together is where you want to be, or whether you're going for more of a frog approach with wide hips. Whatever position it is, keep moving. So find your fidgety squat here. We are fidgeting around, finding the movements. And when you're ready, turn it into a little bit more of a balanced posture. So if you have had your hands and arms supporting you, and you feel safe to come away from the ground, then come up a little higher. And if you have still got your knees a little closer together, now is the time to bring them a little further apart. Let's get a little bit of hip opening in there too. And still moving, knees coming forward. So really going for that big stretch in the feet. And then we're going to take the knees even further out to the side. So bring yourself into a settled and steady, quieter position here. Not so much movement. And let's use the elbows. So bringing your elbows in to rest on the inner edge of your thighs, just at the lower part of your thighs, so not into your knees. There's a nice, for me anyway, a nice fleshy bit just there. It's perfect for putting your elbow into and giving it a little bit of a push. So finding that quite strong stretch. Finding the upper body position that feels good. And I've still got a little bit of movement here. Just using your feet perhaps to rock from side to side. And we do need to have an inversion in our practice today. So this is where we're going to be into our inversion. So let's take the hands down and lift the hips nice and slow, pushing into those knees, straightening the knees, and relaxing the head. So easy forward bend. Walk your feet to about hip width apart if they're a little further away, or walk them out if they're a little closer together. And let's find a softness in the back of the neck to allow that inversion to be at its most effective. Steady, deep breaths, using your hands to the floor or to your shins or ankles to give you a little bit of steadiness and support, feeling of safety. And staying low, we're going to walk the legs out, coming into Prasarita Padottanasana. So heels go out, toes go out, heels go out, toes go out. Come to where works for you. So we're very wide-legged here, and you might find that with that wide-legged posture of Prasarita Padottanasana, you've got a bit more space to allow your torso to hang softly, bringing beautiful flow to the head and neck and face and shoulders. A soft and gentle inversion. Letting go if there's any tension on the tops of your shoulders. And of course, we still have a little bit of a bend in the knee. So if you've locked your legs here, if you can let go of that lock and let yourself come into a little bit of a gentle position. Soft in the knees. Pushing the floor away with your hands and lengthening through your body here, straightening your spine. Bringing both hands to the floor, just below you, just below your face. Hands are together and take your right hand to the very center, directly below your face. Taking your left hand out to the side, we're going to come into a bit of a twist. So watch out here before you start. Notice where your hips are. Notice the alignments of your hips. And then as we sweep the left arm out nice and slow, see if you can isolate the hips and keep them where they are, lifting your left arm up towards the ceiling, perhaps, or maybe out to the side, getting a little bit of nice upper body twist. Right up in the top of your spine, probably the least twisty bit of your spine. So don't expect a lot here. We're just looking for gentle movement, subtle movement. And lift your pelvic floor. Remember to breathe. So we still go in through the nostrils, out through the mouth. Lifting up, lifting, lengthen through that left arm. Lengthen through the right arm to push yourself away from the floor. And then we're going to reach as far as possible with that left arm, arcing back down towards the ground, but lengthening through the arm at the same time. And then swapping around. You might find that your hands are completely different colors now. One completely drained and the other rather full of flow. So let's extend that right arm round now. Nice and slow, reaching around. Again, noticing what's happening in your hips. Hopefully nothing at all. And push the floor away with the soles of your feet. Lift your pelvic floor, reaching up. Don't worry about looking up. That might be a little bit too much to expect from your neck here. Let's just work on the upper back. Still breathing, maybe bringing to mind your sankalpa, and then coming back with that arm all the way down, taking yourself over to the right, bending your right knee, keeping your left leg extended, bringing yourself down over that right knee. And then we're just going to slow flow over to the other side. Again, staying quite low. So we're bending the left knee, straightening the right. And let's go over to the other side, over to the right. This time reaching your right arm out, lifting your left arm up and over. Swooping that left arm back down, walking all the way over, reaching your left arm out, right arm over. Same again. Moving over to the right, reaching over with your left arm, slowly moving over to the other side, using your hands, pressure on the floor, reaching over. Well done, and bringing your hands back to center now, bringing your knees out to the sides into that goddess, straightening the legs, folding forward once more into Prasarita Padottanasana, where we started out. Just a little bit of movement here. Wide shoulders, soft shoulders, gentle jaw. See where you can feel that pressure, that lovely pressure in your face. Keep it soft and gentle. And then we're coming back to the ground into tabletop position. So you might have to turn yourself around or you might not. Finding that lovely tabletop position and letting your head and neck come back in line. So you feel that equilibrium returning and pushing back into Balasana. So push, 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 push back with your arms. Find your hips moving to your heels. Extending over your thighs, reaching forward if you've got more space in your reach. And then bringing your head down to the ground. Inhale, exhale at your own pace here. Finding maybe a little softness. Maybe not going to the full extent of the breath each time, but keeping that consciousness and mindfulness on the breath. Looking forward now. Coming forward, tucking your toes under. So with your toes tucked quite firmly under. Again, we're going to just gently push the hips back to the heels. Using the strength in your arms, using that wide, strong shoulder position. Strong push back into toes. And then we're coming forward and going beyond. So we are challenging the wrists, challenging the hands to be open, the fingers to be long. Back to screaming toe position, heels and hips working together. And coming back one more time beyond the midline here, pushing. And release your toes out flat. Bring yourself back into tabletop. And we're coming into thread the needle posture. So lifting the right hand, left arm is strong and long, sliding through, threading the needle through that space. So right arm's coming underneath the left, and then bringing yourself down. So what quite often happens here is the whole body sways over to the left. See if you can keep your hips level. You'll notice the pressure in your knees. Left and right should be relatively equal, which will give you a good guide as to whether you are level or sliding over. You can keep your left hand where it is, or you can slide it on top of the right arm, pushing your upper arm on the left side into the forearm of your right arm. If you want to turn this into a little bit of a, well, actually, let's just do this, and then we'll move together, turning it into a bit of a twist. Beautiful, lovely big stretch there in the shoulder. Like peacefulness and calmness in this posture. And bringing yourself back up. So left arm doing all the work here to push and lift you. And let's come over to the same thing on the other side. So strong into that right arm, lift away. Left arm comes off, threads through, and then you find that compression and squishiness around the left side here, the left side of your face down to the mat. And relax, relax your right arm over your left this time. Maybe stretching the right arm out as far as you can. Along the floor. And remember to breathe. See where that breath is going to go. It's quite congested and tight. Not congested, that's the wrong word. Constricted, no, that's also the wrong word. There's not a lot of space in the top part of the chest, I think what I'm trying to say. So where are you sending the breath? Think about where it feels like it's going, and just make sure that you're breathing deeply and fully and as expansively as you still can in this posture. And then let's push to come out. So right arm back, right hand flat to the floor, lift yourself all the way out. Lovely. So let's turn it into a bit of a twist this time. So left hand strong, right arm threads through the needle. Bring yourself down, find that nice position, hips are level, and then we'll extend the left arm out and bring it up. And keeping the hips level, opening the left arm out to the side. And keep breathing as well. A little harder to feel relaxed in this position. A lot of work happening in the right arm here. And then lifting away, bringing the left arm down, pressing the left arm in to give yourself that lift and over to the other side. So exactly the same on the other side. Bring yourself down to the ground, pressing into your left shoulder and then reaching your right arm up above you. Notice the pressure in your knees, keeping your weight even. Lifting up with your right arm. Relaxing your chest firmly into your left shoulder. And then bringing your right arm down, pressing the floor away. Push the floor away, come all the way up. Big toes together, knees up the side, and let's push back into that lovely balasana. And here, if it feels a little much to have your arms extended, just bring your hands together, take your elbows out to the side. Do what works for you. Find the balasana that suits you best right now. If this one doesn't, go to the one that does. And when you're there, find that softness and that relaxation, whether it means having a little bit of a wiggle around, or whether it's focusing deeply on your breath, the steadiness and the comings and the goings of the breath. And where the breath goes, and where it doesn't go, and where you can send it. And maybe your sankalpa, your intention for yourself, your practice. As this being that arrived here on earth, whenever it was you did arrive here, you are fully entitled to request what it is that you need more of, to be more you. Let's assume that you are perfect in every way that you're meant to be you. So how can you be more happily, contentedly, fully, joyfully you? Not somebody else, not something different, just more you. It makes sense that if there's only one of you here, you need to do you as well as you possibly can. So lifting yourself up out of this delicious balasana. Don't worry, we're going to find another equally delicious posture, swinging your legs round, taking them out in front of you and finding enough space in your mat to bring yourself lying back down. And speaking of you arriving in this place, this little planet, bring your knees into your chest and give yourself a rock from side to side. We're going to be moving into happy baby, Ananda Balasana. Ananda, happiness, happy, Balasana, baby posture, happy baby posture. So here with your knees pulled in, find your thighs against your chest or belly, and then a slight release. So you can take your knees as if you're just drawing them over to the right side. Then pushing your knees away, stretching your arms because your hands are linked around your knees, and over to the left. So just drawing a circle with your knees. So you're pulling the knees in with your arms, and then you're having to release, and the work is done by your knees, pushing away, finding that lovely stretch in your arms, and then coming back. There's a little your turn, my turn situation between the legs and the arms. And bring your knees back into your chest, give yourself a little bit of a rock from side to side. And then let's do the same again. I find that with this, if I want to get that big stretch in the arm, I'm much better off holding one of my hands with the other hand rather than linking the fingers. So holding tight, finding that little clasp around the knees, and then let's come in with the squeeze your shoulders, your arms, pulling your knees in, and then let go of the arms and take the legs into action, over to the left, pushing away, and over to the right. Look, it is really not a very big movement. It just will feel rather lovely as you use your body to pull and push and stretch. And let's go around one more time, just drawing a circle with the knees. And then bring them in. And here we go. Here's this balasana I was talking about. So right hand and right leg, left hand and left leg, or left arm and left leg, right arm and right leg. Just have a play, and you're holding on wherever feels good for you. And it might be that you want to try a few different holds. It might be that you don't go directly to the foot. Maybe you're having a bit of a play with holding on around leg. So what is it that you feel moved to do? Close your eyes and move into your version of Balasana for today. And you might be feeling like a quiet baby today. Just sitting, holding on, sharing a moment with yourself. And it might be that you're a bit of a joyful, noisy baby. Maybe you're a laughing baby. Throw into this whatever feels like it wants to be thrown in. Pull out, breathe. And come back to taking your arms back around your knees, knees into your chest. I know it's over. Childhood is over all too soon. Babyhood is over even sooner. So a little rock from side to side, find that movement in your spine. And then we're going to do a lovely counter pose. Taking your feet flat to the floor. You have guessed Setu Bandhasana, bridge posture. So we want to keep the space between the hips and the ribs the same. So maybe spread your hands out, little fingers on your hip bones, thumbs on your ribs, lower ribs, somewhere around your ribs. Push your feet flat into the floor and lift using your thighs and your glutes, not allowing that space to change. We're not arching the back here, we're keeping the back level, keeping the front of the body level. And now if you feel like it, bringing your hands into that more traditional bridge posture with your fingertips pointing down towards your heels and your palms of your hands flat to the floor. Lift your pelvic floor here, give it a jolly good workout, a little bit of a squeeze. Either you're doing a slow pulse and release, or you're doing your quick pulses. Do which ones work for you first, and then do the other ones that don't work as well. I find in Setu Bandhasana a slow lift, like the pelvis going up in an elevator, and then gently coming back down as a release, not a push, is much easier than the quick pulses. But have a go, try, see what works. Remember to keep pushing the floor away, squeeze your glutes, bring your knees towards each other, lift your chest. Keep that space though. Now, keeping your legs where they are, keeping that engagement, that strength. We're lifting the arms up towards the ceiling. So lift your arms up and extend them back overhead. If that feels too much, stay where you were or come back to where you were. And leaving your arms overhead, slowly lowering the whole body down to the mat. Nice and slow, still breathing. All the way down. Gentle release. Bring your knees in one more time. Link your arms round. Give yourself a very gentle hug. Soft hug here. Don't pull tight. And come into Shavasana. Well done. Bring yourself to Shavasana, however works for you. And while you're here, Let's move a little. So sending the sit bones out away from the crown of your head, making as much space in your spine as possible. Rocking your hips from side to side, rocking your knees from side to side, ankles and feet moving. And then extending the legs, getting as much length as you can find in your legs. And maybe flicking the wrists, flicking the hands from top all the way back down to the ground and extending your arms. Give yourself space. Rocking your head from side to side. Find any tight bits. Hopefully there are none left now. And then gently lifting your head and placing it back down. And the same with your shoulders. Lift your shoulders off the ground, give them a wiggle and a stretch. And lay them back down. Close your eyes, focus on your breath. And bring your attention back to your sankalpa, back to your intention for yourself. Not to make you more than, nothing to please anybody else in your life. It's entirely for you. I'm sure you spend enough time in your life doing things for everybody else. This is your time. Inhale through your nostrils. Exhaling, nostrils or mouth, but a soft, slow exhale. Soft, slow inhale. Feeling that connection with the ground. Feeling the connection, the support, the steadiness. Drawing up energy from below, from above, from the sides. And let go. Relax. Noticing sounds around, noticing the space around you. And before you start to move or stir, picking something beautiful that you feel like wrapping around yourself in your imagination. Not touching you, just a bubble around you. And whatever it is, imagining it to be easy to flow around you, to spin around you like a cocoon, an invisible cocoon of something beautiful. And filling that space between you and whatever it is that you've decided to wrap yourself in today with mindful intention, with protection, with love, with deep affection and care. So the sense of being protected and safe and loved stays with you all day, all through your week. And before you go to bed at night, if you remember, you can rewrap and fill it up again. Take a deep breath in now. And as you exhale, feel that space expanding. Taking a deep breath in, coming to lie on your right side. Just holding here for a moment, enjoying that warmth, that space within, the space around. Feeling that sense of being completely connected with yourself. So deeply grounded. Stretched, open. Just a beautiful version of yourself. And when you're ready, coming up to sitting. Finding that steady pace of breath again. Really feeling the sensation of that breath coming in and going out. And now rubbing the hands together. Getting some heat and warmth and a little bit of movement moving through your whole body here, a little bit of energy, and cupping them over your eyes, blinking into that space. Taking a deep breath in here. And with your eyes open, gently bringing your hands back to heart center. And namaste. Thank you for joining me with your loving energy. And thank you for joining you.
Thank you, Kate.